Hi, my name is Malone Hodges, and I'm a real estate broker here on the Monterey Peninsula. Over the next couple minutes, I'd like to give you a few insights into what's happening in our market here and answer some of the questions I'm beginning from clients. So the big story here on the peninsula is limited inventory, and that's been the case for quite a while. In November of this year, there were 144 homes for sale on the Monterey Peninsula. That's in contrast to July of 2019, where there were 461. Having said that, 144 is better than December of last year, December of 2020, when there were only 88 homes for sale here on the peninsula. The limited supply of homes on the Monterey Peninsula has helped support pricing here relative to a lot of other markets, but the economic pressures are being felt here as well. You can see that in the number of sellers that are opting for price reductions in their search for a qualified buyer. A lot of our buyers here in the peninsula are cash buyers, but a lot of folks rely on loans, and interest rates are definitely having an impact. You may never have heard of the California Buyer Purchasing Power Index. That index for the third quarter, a negative 31.3, is a year-over-year comparison. What it means is a buyer making the same salary she made last year has 31.3 less purchasing assisting mortgage money than she did a year ago, 31.3%. So that's a material fact as buyers consider their purchase options. And the fact that it came on so fast as well, it just has a huge emotional impact to realize how much more money it takes to buy a home at the same price given your same income a year ago, solely because of the change in interest rates. For the buyers here on the peninsula that rely primarily on cash, they've been negatively impacted by stock market gyrations. And as you probably know, a lot of our buyers come from Silicon Valley and the San Francisco Bay Area. They've been negatively impacted by, in many cases, the loss in value of their stock portfolio in the companies for which they work. Layered on top of that is an increase in the number of layoffs in the San Francisco Bay Area and tech in Silicon Valley. In November of this year, there were 35,000 layoffs in the San Francisco Bay Area. And those layoffs, primarily in tech, impact a lot of our potential buyers down here. During the pandemic, a lot of buyers in the tech industry were purchasing homes in the Monterey Peninsula and working from home, or as I like to call it, buying their second primary residence. They may or may not sell their home up in the Bay Area, but their primary place of work migrated from up there in an office environment to the Monterey Peninsula working from home. We're seeing less and less of that as their buying power and their concern about the future kicks into play. So that's a little bit about what buyers are dealing with, but let's talk about sellers as well. Why aren't we seeing more inventory? A lot of sellers were holding on as the market continued to climb and were frustrated by the fact that they couldn't find a replacement property. So if you're a seller in this market and you look at what's on the market to go buy as a replacement, you're as disappointed as all the other buyers. So you're hesitant to change your title from seller to buyer, given that there isn't a home out there that maybe meets your criteria. That has now been compounded by the change in interest rates. A lot of sellers are in homes, if they have a loan, at interest rates in the high 2s or low 3s in terms of percent. Now, were they to sell that home, they're looking at going and getting a loan at a much higher interest rate, which has a material impact on their monthly payments. So sellers are stuck. They don't want to abandon the home they like in search of a home they haven't been able to find and to incur additional costs in doing so. Having said all that, it isn't that homes aren't selling, and some are selling at or above list price and relatively quickly. But those homes are the ones that are in the best condition, are unique, move-in ready, good to go, and meet the criteria of the buyers. A year ago, a buyer might rationalize making a purchase, saying, okay, this isn't the perfect house, but it's a good enough house, or it's a house we can make perfect by putting more money into it. The buyers in the market at the moment, given the pressures on them against the decision to make a purchase, are being far more selective in what they make an offer on. The market is not stagnant. We had a sale in November of a home in Pebble Beach for $28 million that was against a list price of $33.5 million. Spectacular home, new construction, amazing views, 11,000 square feet. It is the highest sales price of a home in Pebble Beach for a home not on the ocean or the golf course. That's a case of a buyer waiting in the wings for the right home, and when it comes up, they jump. And that's what we're seeing across all price points. The meta message to you as a seller is to spend the time, energy, and effort to prepare the home before you go on the market. Make sure the photography is amazing, the home is staged, the paint is done, the repairs have been undertaken, the inspections are complete, and do everything you can to get the home ready for the market. As a buyer, have your criteria set. When you see the right home, be ready to move quickly. I love talking about real estate. Be happy to answer any questions you've got. Feel free to give me a call or send me an email. Thanks.